Hello and welcome to Kids Corner on Armstrong Channel 20. I'm Miss Krista and I'm so excited today to be at Poland Union Elementary School with Mrs. Zamary's and Mrs. Flasko's first grade classes. Can you feel the wind? Can you touch the wind? Can you taste the wind? Can you smell the wind? Do you think you could paint or draw the wind? That's what we're going to learn about today when we read Painting the Wind by Patricia McLaughlin and Emily McLaughlin. And after we read all about the different ways you can feel and touch and smell the wind, we are going to make our very own pinwheels. And you can do this at home too. All you need is a piece of paper, a push pin, and a long stick or a straw to put it on. I hope that you love our story and our craft. And if you would like Armstrong to come to your school, have a grown-up email us at channel20, that's channel20 at agoc.com. Well, I think I hear our students coming in now. Let's get ready to read. So, my name is Miss Krista and I work for a company called Armstrong, bravo! And I get to come to, yay, mine too! Thank you very much for having our service. I get to come to different schools on Fridays with my friend Mr. Greg, who's our videographer, to read stories and do crafts and meet all kinds of really cool kids. And I especially am happy to be at Poland Union today.
Did you go to this school?
I didn't go to this school, but my kids go to another school in Poland. So we are Bulldogs, and we're so happy to be Bulldogs, and we're so happy to be here with you, because no matter what school we go to, if you're a Bulldog, if you're a Wildcat, if you're a Red Devil, if you're a Blue Devil, if you're a Spartan, guess what?
I'm a Red Devil.
All kids rock. There's not one kid that doesn't rock. Can you smell the wind?
Yes.
Yes, how can you smell the wind? Raise your hands. Raise your hands. How can you smell the wind? You in the back in the gray shirt.
You need to just breathe.
You need to breathe. And what can you smell sometimes in the wind? What can you smell in the wind? What if somebody's baking? What do you can smell cake in the wind because the wind brings that smell to you. What else can you smell in the wind?
Smoke.
Smoke. You can smell smoke in the wind. Can you touch the wind? Who can feel the wind? How do you feel the wind? You in the red soccer shirt.
The wind comes close to you.
You can feel it. You can feel it on you. Sometimes it's cold, right? When it's blowing. But what if the sun is beating down and it's real hot? How does the wind feel then? Does it feel good?
Yeah.
It feels so good. Can you see the wind?
No.
Oh, I see a lot of people are saying no, but I see some people nodding their heads. How do you see the wind? I saw you nodding your head. How do you think you see the wind? You do see the wind. You can see it. If you closed your ears and just had to look, could you tell if it was windy outside?
No.
You can. Sure you can. How can you see it?
Well, when the wind blows, sometimes you can see it.
You can see it. You can see it blowing. It blows the leaves. And if it's a really strong wind, you can see it blowing the whole tree, huh? How else?
Because sometimes when it's snowing, I can see it's like doing a snow.
Oh, you're right. It can blow the snow sideways, so you can tell if the snow's not coming straight down. Bravo. What about you?
I was going to say the same thing as her.
That
You can see it on the streets, like going off.
You're right. You can see it blowing around on the street. You can sometimes see if somebody littered, huh? You can see a paper blowing around on the street, right? So you can definitely see the wind, yes.
You could see, you could see leaves blowing.
You're right. You can see leaves blowing. Who can see a kite flying? Yeah, you can see a kite flying. You can see lots of fun things blowing in the wind. Do you have a fun time watching things outside? My friends, have you ever seen a scene outside? Let's say you're going past the Poland Library and you're going back to the creek to skip stones in it. Okay, you know the creek in the back of the library? Okay. Have you ever looked at it, not as though you were in the middle of it, but though it was a snapshot, as though you took a picture of it? Have you ever seen it like that? Next time you go, this is your job. I want you to try this. I want you, when you're going past something really beautiful, and you have lots of beautiful things in town, don't you? You have your yards, you have beautiful buildings. You have the village pantry, you have the Poland library, lots of beautiful things to look at. I want you to look at it as though it was a snapshot in your mind and see if it changes for you. See if you can, because once you have that picture in your mind, you can take it forever. It's yours forever.
My mom does that with the Poland, that bridge on the Poland Woods.
Oh, she does that on the bridge at the Poland Woods. Oh, isn't that so exciting, especially right now because the bluebells are going to be blooming pretty soon in the woods. Yes?
When I was in Alaska in the summer, I was standing sideways and I saw a big crack in a glacier and I took a picture of it.
You did. So now you have that forever. Isn't that so cool? I want to tell you about a boy who learns a lot about the little island that he lives on, and especially about the wind. And then we're going to do a special wind project. This book is by the authors are Patricia McLaughlin and Emily McLaughlin, and it's called Painting the Wind. Can you paint the wind?
Yes.
You're going to make a craft to make sure that you can always see the wind is with you. I paint all winter long, and I wait. On my island surrounded by water and light, I paint the places where the water meets the land. I paint the deep ponds. I paint the clouds, but I cannot paint the wind. As hard as I try, I cannot paint the wind. Then the days grow warmer. The harbor seals leave for cool waters. The marsh grasses turn green. What I have waited for all year happens. What happens? We're waiting for it right now. What happens? The seasons change. And what season do you think is going to be changing on his island? You in the gray. Yep, you. Yep, pretty close. Spring. Nope, you're right. Summer is here. Here we're waiting for spring, huh? And the painters come back to the island. They come on the mailboat with their paints and easels and bags of books and favorite pots and pans. Some bring their children. All of them bring their dogs. The painters paint different things. They paint with the different paints, with watercolors, acrylics, or oil. They paint at different times, some in the morning, some at night, some all day long. But there is one thing they all paint. They all paint my island. The painter of flowers wakes at dawn when the island light first comes. He feeds his dog, Tess, and together they go out into the garden. Tess lifts her nose and smells the air. What's there? What has been there? I sat at my easel beside a clump of iris blooms gone by. The painter of flowers takes out his oil paints. He paints flowers with names like Cosmos, Foxglove, Larkspur, Poppy. He loves the names of flowers. Today, the painter begins to paint a poppy. He rummages through his tubes of reds. Alizarin crimson, he says, terracotta, scarlet lake. He loves the names of his paints too. He begins with a color called cadmium red, brushing the red across his canvas with his big brush. The painter works for a long time, and when the sun is overhead, he is surprised. We walk to the beach to eat lunch. Tess sits next to some yellow hawkweed in the sunlight. The painter smiles. Tomorrow I will paint the flowers in sunlight, he says. Tomorrow he will paint his coffee-colored dog, Tess, next to the yellow hawkweed in sunlight. Good dog, Tess, he whispers to her. Sweet girl. Happily, Tess lies down and closes her eyes. The painter of faces is late to wake. I sleep all night with faces in my dreams, she tells me, and I wake with them on my walls. Young faces, thoughtful ones, sad faces, wise faces, laughing faces, watching, wary faces. Eyes look at the painter. They seem to follow her as she coaxes her dark-eyed dogs, Emmett and Charlie, out from under the bed covers. The painter puts on her running shoes. Let's go, she says. Charlie doesn't like to run. Emmett will run anywhere, anytime. Emmett's eager. Together, we run down to the island road. We pass people whose faces the painter has already painted, and some faces she may one day paint. Charlie sits, tired of running. So we walk to the only store on the island, where the painter will paint the storekeeper, Sasha, with her sweet, lined face. A sign taped near the cake mixes reads, "Please do not eat frosting from the can." What do you have in front of you? What do you have in front of you? A piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. Not very interesting yet, is it? No. What's on it? Big X. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to take this piece of paper. It's 10 inches by 10 inches. If it's the same on all sides, the same length, what does that make it? What does that make it? A square, bravo. I have an X, and I'm going to cut at the corners right to about there. Okay, so I didn't cut all the way through, right? And I'm going to cut at this corner. Oh, right till about there. I'm going to cut at this corner, right till about there. And I'm going to cut at this corner, right till about there. Now what do I have? Yeah, just a cut up piece of paper, right? Yeah, not very interesting. So here is what I'm going to do, and this is what each of you are going to do. I'm going to take my corners, and I'm going to help you with this. And I'm going to take a corner, tape it up. Take a corner, tape it up. Right in the middle. I'm going to take another corner, take it to the middle, tape it up. I'm going to take one more corner, tape it up. Oh, I need to tape that one better. There we go. Now what do I have? A pinwheel. But it's not quite ready yet, my dear friends. Now I'm going to take a thumbtack. I just have a plain thumbtack, and I'm going to push it through the middle of my pinwheel. Sure I am, Miss Krista. There we go. And now, what do you see on your stick in front of you? There's something very specific on that stick. What is it? A hole. I'm going to take that stick. I'm going to take my thumbtack, push it through that hole, and then on the back, guess what this little piece of white rubber is? What do you think it is? It's an eraser. I took the eraser out of the pencil, and I'm going to put it right on the back. And now I have my pinwheel. And this is what each of you is going to make. But guess what? This is the most boring pinwheel I've ever seen. Why? Why? It needs colored, and it needs some serious coloring. So in front of you, you will see there's one thing in front of you that I've already put there. There's another thing I have not.
Oh my God.
In front of you is a stamp pad. You also have a pencil. Not only can a pencil eraser be the back of a pinwheel, it can also be a stamp. So you may, and I please ask you to just press it in once, and then you may press it right on your paper and make all kinds of designs. Please keep it on your paper, not on your face, not on your hands, but stamp it in the stamp pad onto the paper. Sound like a plan, Stan?